Family, peace, peace, peace. We're now live. We're now back. We got ourselves a tune chaos. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Peace and unity. I'm with the Beyond 5D.
All right. So in this video, family, we're gonna be talking about sidereal astrology and the real astrology. All right, the truth about your real self. All right. So if you guys don't know, sidereal astrology is one of the most accurate forms, if not the most accurate form of astrology. It goes 23 degrees backwards. All right. So you know the mainstream astrology, the one everybody uses, it's like it uses the seasons. So the seasons are man-made in a way. They're played with. You know how they say time is not real. So a lot of like astrology, regular astrology is tempered with a little bit. But you got sidereal astrology. The reason why they call it sidereal astrology, if you break it down, it's sidereal astrology. So it's pushed to the side, but it's the real astrology. So once you get deeper into a lot of things, you understand that you have to question things a lot, and sometimes you have to understand that what's not popular is usually the more accurate forms, and we learn this with spiritual teachers. So
Right.
understand that the most popular form of something, 9 out of 10 times, is going to be the most inaccurate form. So the sidereal astrology is 23 degrees back. Um, and basically, it uses the constellations as above, so below. It uses the stars at the current time when you're born. So when you're born, sidereal astrology is where the stars are at when you're born. Where, what I'm saying, that's why it's more accurate because it's as above, so below. And it's usually pinpoint accurate. So a lot of people, if you're like a late Pisces, you're still going to be a Pisces, right? But if you're an early Pisces, you're gonna go back to an Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? Like me. So depending on your zodiac sign, you got to look at where you're at. If you're in the middle, you're still gonna go back to the sign before that. If you're early if you're early Capricorn, you're gonna go back to a Sag. You know what I'm saying? If you're early Scorpio, you're gonna go back to a Libra. You know what I'm saying? If you're a late Cancer, you're gonna still stay a Cancer. So you got to see the timing of when you were born during your zodiac season, and that will let your sidereal zodiac sign. So we will leave a link in the description if you do want to know your true sidereal zodiac sign. All right. So we're gonna let you start it off. You know what I'm saying? What's some things you learned about sidereal astrology?
So the way I view sidereal astrology is it's like exploring the underlying aspects of your subconscious self. So, like you said, sidereal is much more authentic than tropical because it exposes the deeper levels of your soul that have been hiding within your shadow self. And now that we're in the age of Aquarius, we're being called to merge together and remember all aspects of the soul. So look at sidereal as the layer of your soul underneath the ego.
Mm,
So just know that it's all you, but tropical is just one part of you, and
hmm
sidereal is another part of you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Some like to refer as sidereal as the more feminine side of ourselves, where some would refer tropical, or if you want to call Western astrology, as the masculine version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So a
Mhm.
lot of the times we're not going to say, me being an astrologist, I'm not going to sit here and say that Western or tropical astrology is inaccurate. It is very accurate, but
Mhm.
it is a version of ourselves that you could say it's more of the matrix selves, more of ourselves that we see in the matrix. While side real astrology, we're going to see that more in our soul, especially when we see the inward version of ourselves, or what you want to call the feminine version of ourselves, the divine feminine aspect of ourselves, which is the inward. So sidereal is more inward. It's something that we're more likely to see. Your tropical zodiac sign, your tropical zodiac chart, that's something that the world is more likely to see. So once we find and understand that we have to use all the charts together, what they call like sidereal is also used in Vedic astrology. Vedic astrology is Indian astrology. So when you're using these type of Vedic or sidereal, Vedic is going to use all these nakshatras, and they have like 20. How many nakshatras they got?
27, I
20,
believe.
27.
Mhm.
So a lot of different nakshatras that are, so it's a very advanced when you get into Vedic astrology. But for this video, family, we're just talking about sidereal astrology. So sidereal astrology is going to be based off, what I'm saying, like a lot of people's charts change completely. You know,
Mhm.
some people's charts don't change, at all because they're already late in all their signs. So
Like
my
mine.
chart, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my chart does change. The whole chart changes. So it kind of changed my whole belief system in a way. Kind of, I've been knew about Sidereal for about 4 or 5 years. Of course, I'm going to teach Western astrology in the beginning to understand people, help people learn help you guys learn about yourself, and I explain it into and bring new ideas, innovative ideas. You know what I'm saying? But astrology is one of those things that is very self-helpful. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tool used to understand yourself on a deeper level. It's a tool
Yes.
used to make relationships more impactful. It's like a form of therapy. It's a form of validation. It's a form of purpose understanding. So that's why a lot of astrologers, they have no problem getting money. They know how to get money easier. They know how to, what I'm saying, get the bag, because they already know the weaknesses and strengths. So astrologers always
Okay.
operate, what I'm saying? They always
Mhm.
operate from a level of logic and supreme understanding rather than emotion and confusion. So astrologers are definitely, they don't move out of confusion, and that's one of the benefits of like studying yourself through astrology is you won't be confused. You have purpose guidance. It's like having a altar in your mind. So
I like that. Me being a tropical Leo, my sidereal, I was a late Leo, so in sidereal, I'm still a Leo. But with this being said, I embody the qualities of the Leo to my core. So Leo is here. The purpose of Leo is to really remind us of our royalty, and it's really like Aquarius and Leo are here to bring the resurrection of our royalty genes, our God and goddess beings, our God and goddess like way of moving, thinking, everything. So um really I really rule the heart chakra. I have great deal of experience embodying the balance in between the two, the give and receive of the heart chakra. As a Leo, I love to give from the heart. I feel like Leo really handles the up close and personal light work. For y'all light workers out there, we handle the up close and personal light work. And Aquarius, um, y'all handle like the behind the scenes light work. Like y'all are really humanitarians, but Leos and Aquarius is like we are one and the same. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, as a Leo, I value integrity, um, and expect everyone else to like hold themselves to high standards,
mm,
just like us. So we really push that energy out into the collective. Um, we also know that you need your emotions to like maintain a certain frequency
mm,
in order to manifest and like magnetize things to you. So
mm,
when Leos are, you have Leo friends and family members, like, and you notice them like always like boosting your confidence and, bringing up your mood whenever you need it. It's just, we want you to stay at that high vibration, you know, for for your emotions to stay at that frequency, because when you start vibrating lower in the lower density of emotions, it's slower to attract things to you. So um yeah, Leos teach others how to embody their self-love. And I also want to yeah, a lot of astrologers, they say that Leos are, attention seeking, that we love attention, all that, da, da, da. But
yeah, yeah. I feel like
honestly,
that's just the more superficial side.
yeah.
Leos, they do love attention, but it's more so they have a big purpose of giving out positive energy, them ruling the sun. So it's like they just want to be in the light. That's all it is. It's not really like, of course, you got the uninvolved Leos, but
Mhm.
Leos, they just really want to be. They're not like Pluto, which is in the darkness. They need to be in the light. So as long as they are wearing the, that's why it's recommended for Leos to wear shiny colors so they can get seen more.
Mhm. Right, and wear crystals like citrine,
Yeah, citrine. Yeah,
citrine, and
yeah.
to really keep you in a positive state at all times. And honestly, I mean, Leos really be looking for and, expecting, everyone else to like reciprocate the same love, the same light and attentive care that we give to everyone around us, Um, like when a Leo pours that sun energy, um, we do want, well, it's like an endless, from in my experience, it's like an endless well of like light energy. So
Hmm.
we can like endlessly give it out, but we also like, I guess the controversy about the attention seeking is like we actually are seeking like recognition for that and appreciation for that energy we give out. And just to be, our well wants to be replenished sometimes by others as well.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's that. That's
Okay.
that Leo energy for you.
All right.
Um what could you say about like your sidereal sign in Aquarius? Like how does that, what's that polarity about the Leo? Like,
Yeah. So, having a sidereal sun in Aquarius is one of those things that, when I first seen it and I went to my sidereal zodiac sign and I seen that I wasn't a Pisces, I was an Aquarius. It was one of those things that I was like, okay, I can understand the aspect of an Aquarius because, I'm definitely I'm a mental person. I'm very mental with the mind, I may not appear like a mental person, but I'm a very mental person, once you hear me speak. So it definitely made me understand that I do live in the realm of thoughts. I do live in the realm of mental power and journalism. I do live in a world of courses like community. So I do live in that world where community to me is like where I specialize in collaborations and knowing how to be socially intelligent and having collective IQ and astrology. Aquarius is rule astrology. You know what I'm saying? They're very awkward. Astrology is not really socially normal. So me being into like astrology and numerology and me being passionate about these things is something that society is not really used to. The media is not used to. So it definitely kind of made more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Some people would agree that I'm more Aquarius like than a Pisces. Pisces are very, what I'm saying, low key and not really, nowhere to be found. They're very spacey. They're not organized. They're not structured. You know what I'm saying? So me being an Aquarius sun definitely added an element of more validation to my personality and what I'm here to do. So I definitely see that. Like I do love to collaborate. I do love to share a lot of knowledge. I do sometimes with emotions. You know, me being around super emotional people sometimes is very it's like I'm not gonna say it's uncomfortable, but I'm not used to it. Like my past
mhm,
lives, I definitely wasn't. Emotions is like a new it's like going to a different planet. You know what I mean? When I see around emotional people, so it's definitely
mhm,
I'm still learning a lot when it comes to emotions. But being an Aquarius, I definitely like feel like if you're a sidereal Aquarius like me, understand that you definitely have a big purpose. Aquarius is a fixed sign, so you use your mind to heal people on a mental level, to give knowledge out to the mental people, to the people mentally, and understand that Aquarius is unorthodox. It is about new ideas. So you are going to be unorthodox. You are going to be different. You are going to your authenticity is going to naturally shine and vibrate. And it may bother people who don't resonate with authenticity. You know what I'm saying? But Aquarius is the 11th sign. So even I'm a Pisces or Aquarius. Still the later sign. So it definitely gives people like this like a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience from the past lives. So that's one of the key benefits of having an Aquarius sidereal is that like you feel drawn to help the collective. You feel drawn to collaborate and had been Aquarius being on the axis of Leo, like you're a Leo. It's like Leos are definitely here to shine more. Like they're very famous. Leos rule fame. But like how you said, Leos are like the front of the camera. They like the
mhm.
attention more. Aquarius is more
Don't like
behind
that
the scenes,
attention.
right?
Mhm,
So that's why in my videos I podcast with people and I'll give them the front scenes more of the times because it's like I
mhm,
got knowledge, but at the same time, bro, I'm not just bro, but that's how to talk to the camera. But at the same time, I'm very like selfless in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really
mhm.
care about everybody needs to follow me. Like I'm not egotistical like that. I like when people around me get their attention too. 'Cause I'm not here to do this like I'm trying to build up who I am. Like I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? I really like I'm really detached from being like maybe that's the Aquarius is opposite from Leo. Leo's like
Yeah, the detachedness.
yeah,
Mhm,
yeah, they're more ego. So it's like me, 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 me. Aquarius is like, yo, they have that pride, but it's more like they don't really care for the whole every person in the room to know who they are. Like they just like, bro, it is what it is. I'm trying to help people. So when you have an
Mm-hmm.
evolved, yeah, when you have an evolved Aquarius, it definitely is like someone who just wants to help and they don't care how they do it. If it's voiceovers, if it's podcasts, if it's this, they just there. You know what I'm saying? They just there. And they definitely are here to it's a revolutionary zodiac sign too. So they're definitely here to do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, and I want to touch on that a little bit because yeah, Leo feels the same way, like when it comes to the me thing that we Leos be doing.
mhm.
It just be like I think a Leos, like people say Leos are like selfish, but I think Leos are self-full, like
Mhm.
full, and what's another term for being full of self,
Mhm.
authenticity,
Yeah,
authenticity. So it's just like we be really pushing that energy out, trying to teach everyone else to, because it's a good thing to be
yeah,
full of
yeah.
yourself, in a higher light, for the evolved Leos. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
that's one thing I learned is that when someone's a fixed sign, they're just harder to manipulate most of the time. So that's all it
Mhm.
is. So we need the fixed signs in certain positions because they're here to lead without being influenced by the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of
Right.
people on this planet who do want to knock off certain people who have great purposes. So
Yeah.
like for me, I know like me and my channel, I don't have no plans to ever stop. You know what I'm saying? That's never been in my thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
So it don't matter if it don't matter what's going on. I'm gonna keep going. It's just like I love what I do. You feel me? So
Exactly.
we need people like that. But you have other signs who are not fixed. They may give up because they may care about like for instance Libra. Someone
Hmm.
a lot of Libra dominant people and every astrologer can agree with this, but a lot of Libra dominant people, they're very much a people pleaser. They very much care
Hmm.
about their status so much that they will please the people around them to make them happy by any cost. That means if they want to stay in the churches and rather than going spiritual, they're staying in the churches because they built so many connections with their church friends that if they leave, they're gonna be shunned. So it's
Hmm.
like, you gotta not really care to an extent. Like, you definitely gotta help the community, definitely stay righteous, but you can't understand like you're not here to uh be everybody's favorite best friend and they're not even on
Hmm.
the same time with you. So I'm here to like kind of like just do what I gotta do. I already, got the ancestors helping me do what I gotta do
For
and
sure.
stay focused. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, really, that's all we need because Leo and Aquarius are self-governing.
Yeah,
Like we govern ourselves. Yeah, I really feel that. Same
yeah.
here.
So
The
yeah, I like
ancestors,
that. I
the
like
ancestors
that.
be backing me up.
Yeah, I like that. Self governing is a
Mm-hmm.
really good way. Like I like courts is like their own government, so they're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna really like. I already got my foundation. I already see what I got to do. I'm definitely a collab friendly type of platform. I love collaborations. Like I said, I'm not just like a me. Like I really am big on building with people. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. I'll give them the spotlight for my like. I don't. I'm not. It's just like this is the God's platform. This is not my place. It's God's platform. So that's why his name Beyond 5D. It's not really just what I'm saying. But I'm really gonna here, you know what I'm saying? I went through a lot of ego deaths on this journey, a lot of ego deaths, you know what I'm saying? Like Aquarius and Pisces, those energies go through that so much time. So I was like, my soul always tells me, yo, like, this is a experience, you know what I'm saying? And use every opportunity to wake people up and be, and stay righteous because there's so much duality on this planet that when you are righteous, you will be faced with opposition naturally because it's like we're on a planet of
Yeah.
duality. So too much righteous energy, it puts you on the scale, and the scale gets uneven. And now someone unrighteous has to come in your life to balance it out. So it's always okay to understand what's your shit like out. Is your phone died? You there? Oh, okay, you there. Yeah, your
Yeah.
phone died. Yeah,
My
yeah.
bad.
Oh,
Must
you
have been some
good.
internet connections
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah. But besides that, we're gonna get straight to the video because it's already been about 26 minutes, so we don't want the video to be too long. So the
Okay, well, how about you start with Aries?
Aries, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when you start with Aries, all right, so if you're a sidereal Aries, one of your main purposes here is to definitely be a leader in whatever group you're in. Their Aries energy is very hard to understand because if you look at an Aries, it's the baby zodiac sign, right? But it's also the most masculine sign. So a lot of people think Aries is like someone you play with, someone you don't you could like get away with things, right? And that's why they rule Mars in the first house, because Aries has to constantly prove to people that they're not to be played with. So Aries is very contradicting. A lot of people think Aries is like one of those signs where it's like very simple, like a Taurus. Tauruses are very simple, but Aries is very contradicting and hard to understand because, like I said, they're so nice, they're so playful, they're the baby, but people might mistaking that for like weakness. They might see that innocence. They might see that playful side. They might think that it's like, oh, I'm gonna play with this person, and that's when Aries snaps because they get offended or ego gets offended. So as an Aries, you have to um understand that you are here to definitely be playful, definitely bring the fire that fire sign, bring the inspiration to the people around you, and that's how you see the universe help you on a spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? Well, because people will be motivated by what you say, but at the same time, try not to go to war with everybody because Aries does get very defensive. It's the ego, so they do get like in defense mode. It's like Scorpio, like they can be always in survival mode, always in defense mode naturally, because it's like they're used to going through the shits. They're used to going through people trying to, what I'm saying, fight them or this and that. What I'm saying? People can see it in Aries aura. Aries got a big, nice, young aura that's very, very bright. So people can be jealous of Aries as well, like Scorpio. So as an Aries, you have to stay righteous and pick your battles. That's the best thing I'll say as an Aries. Pick your battles. You know what I'm saying? But you as an Aries, you as a sidereal Aries, you might most likely might be a pipe. You might be a Pisces and tropical. Um, but it just depends. Wait. Did I say you might be a Taurus? You might be a Taurus and tropical. But if you are a
Yeah.
sidereal Aries, yeah, you have to pick your battles. Pick your battles. Use that. You have to work out as a person as an Aries because you're not
Mhm.
working out. You're gonna be prone to using that unchanneled chaos into people, into arguments, into jobs, into you're just gonna be kind of walking around life destroying everything and being too competitive. So as an Aries, you have Aries are very, 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 very uh consistent. Like when it comes to it's like getting their money. I feel like Aries, their drive is like top two drives with Capricorn. They are very self-obsessed, so it's very, very, very difficult to beat an Aries in any activity at long
Mhm.
term. Okay, because like if you beat them, they're gonna come back. It's ruled by Mars, so understand that you as an Aries, you have to work on understanding you're gonna always be in a battlefield in some type of way or form, whether it's with yourself or with people. All right. Once you become more evolved, you're gonna get out of that battlefield with people if you become more evolved because people is not really like who you want to go to war with. You want to go to
Right.
war with yourself and learn how to be in competition with yourself. And eventually
Mhm.
Aries go to that. They go to that level where they're in competition with themselves. They're trying to make more money than they did the month before. So that's when Aries really gets to the highest level. And a Sidereal Aries is very, very potent, very powerful sign. Mars is the commander in astrology. So they get to a level where they start to, command their life. They start to command their manifestations. You know what I'm saying? Um, be more mindful of power struggles. Be mindful that everybody, not most people, not everybody likes to be told to do Aries. So, just kind of be mindful of your commander energy. And that's where the Libra energy comes into place. A lot of Aries people I know, if they don't have Libra placements, they don't really do too well with people because Aries is very, ruthless and, sometimes it could be very blunt where they can offend people. They can offend people without even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? So as an Aries, when I meet Aries people with Libra placements, that's where the Libra really fixes their energy and balances them out. And you won't really even know they're in Aries. You might see the Aries, but it's not like a toxic side. So as an Aries, to find your success, you do need some of that Libra energy, which is like learning how to communicate in a harmonious way, not being unfair, not just focusing on yourself in relationships, because love is like compromising. Love is not selfish. Love is like unconditional. So learning Aries, like, don't be too conditional in your love to be successful. Don't be too self where you're just stepping over people. Learn to find balance in your relationships. Learn to find balance in your life because Aries, fire signs, there's a thing that a lot of astrologers say. Fire signs are extremists. They're very fire burns shit. Like it doesn't when a fire comes to a forest, it just tears it down. It ain't gonna be like we're gonna go now. It just tears it down. So fire signs, when they get mad, they can just destroy everything. They don't really think. There's no structure. It's just boom, like fire. So A fire
Yeah.
sign, that's you feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why the opposite sign of fire signs is the element of air. Air is more like
Mhm.
a little bit more slower. It's a little bit more socially intelligent. It thinks more. So fire signs, you guys just gotta think more. Aries, think about things you do more before you do them. Just think, play
Mhm.
chess more, meditate a little bit more, think more. Don't act so much if you're a sidereal Aries. I recommend, like I said, work on that Libra energy. Learn how to like, what I'm saying, just read the book. It's called How to Make Friends and Influence People. Learn how to just influence people through social intelligence. Aries, once they get their social intelligence right, they're unstoppable. You guys will be unstoppable because you'll realize that once you have that social intelligence, you have social intelligence mixed with pure brute willpower. You know what I'm saying? Aries can get anything. You guys can get anything you want if you guys know how to work with people. That's all. Like Aries
Yeah,
already
some
can get
tact.
some
Like
tax, yeah, some diplomacy. Aries can already get anything they want, but a lot of the times they can't because they too barbarous. They hurt people too much. People just don't like them because they know that Aries can be like an a-hole. But once Aries can like mix that Libra energy and become like diplomatic and know how to like, I don't want to say the word finesse, but know how to just like, what I'm saying, know how to make people like you. Once you do that, Aries, you basically good. You know what I'm saying? You basically
yeah,
good, Aries.
yeah. Right. Because
That's
Aries is the ram, aren't they? The
yeah,
ram.
yeah, the ram, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
Aries is
like
the
how you
ram.
explain that
So
duality.
yeah, so I'm gonna let you go on with Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus energy embodies like stability and like security. They value stability and security a lot. So whenever they are about to make a move, like they need to feel stable within themselves. They really don't like, not planning out anything. They like it planned, to the T. They kind of obsess over the stability thing, in their life. That's because they like to feel comfortable. Taurus is like to feel comfortable. Y'all really love y'all comfort, man. It's kind of hard to move y'all out y'all comfort um once y'all get in that space. And that can kind of be a good thing, but it can kind of be a bad thing too because y'all can get complacent and stagnant in one spot. And growth, growth and transformation, that's your polarity in Scorpio. So Scorpio really teaches you about growth and transformation while you teach Scorpio about like stability and stuff. But Scorpio comes in, you have to really pull on that Scorpio energy from that axis so you can really start to like, embody your own sense of transformation. Um, and y'all really, what's the word? Y'all mirror the planet Earth. Like y'all are like the essence of Mother Earth. So, you know, everything you touch grows. Like whenever you feel stagnant for too long, really consider you need to like repot yourself like a plant. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And so also y'all gotta watch it on the food because y'all can be complacent with the comfort food too. Like y'all need to, y'all really do eat for taste and like comfort more than like the body's actual health. So y'all really need to take that into account when y'all are like eating. Like not saying to just cut out all the comfort food, but definitely incorporate like, some healthier foods and stuff like that. Now I do want to touch on the goddesses, y'all sexual energy. Like y'all energy is potent. Like y'all have fertile sexual energy. So y'all also like kind of pull on Scorpio when it comes to that sexual energy. So yeah, like be careful of who you are, having sexual intercourse with because it's like you either are giving them all your life force or like you're, you know, absorbing all of their life force. So it's like, and I know you can say that about anyone, but Scorpios and Tauruses, y'all really rule that area in the bedroom, like.
yeah, definitely facts.
But definitely practice. Like I would practice sex magic if you're a goddess. Gods too, like y'all gods too. Y'all can the divine masculine, y'all could do it too. But this when you know harness your own life force energy, especially while you're manifesting, because this can help you, you know, magnetize your manifestations to you much quicker. Um, yeah, that's what I gotta say about Tauruses.
Yes. Also, Tauruses, make sure you guys know your worth. Knowing your worth is very important because Tauruses, then they don't just really stability and money. They also rule self-worth. So Tauruses usually, depending on the other signs, sidereal Tauruses, y'all have a high self-worth. Y'all here to really embody the value of people and the value of yourself. That's all work is the value. So know you have a high value. Your energy is valuable naturally, just like kind of like others, like a few other signs I'll talk about later. But a lot of people, even if you guys don't have the money or the cars or certain things, you still have value in your energy. A lot of Tauruses are known to be very grounded, very earthy. So know the value of yourself. You don't need to have a lot of jewelry and necklaces and aesthetic. Like a lot of Tauruses, they feel a little bit less without the aesthetic and everything like that. So, understand Taurus, you are valuable without the aesthetic. You're valuable without the cars. You are valuable without the money, without the houses, without all these, tools and hair wraps. Stay valuable with then being naked as possible. Then let everything else be an accessory and an addition to things. All right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll go on next to Gemini. So if you are Gemini sidereal, that means that in tropical astrology, you're a Cancer. All right, there's a higher chance of that. So a Gemini sidereal, you're definitely here to help to communicate your ideas to the collective, and that's when you'll get a lot more ideas. I mean, that's when you get a lot more success and abundance from the universe. All right. So a Gemini sidereal, one of the best things about Geminis is that, like, one thing I noticed is that um, you guys are definitely here to have a lot of friends. They need to have this need to stimulate people's minds because it's a mutable sign. It's a mutable likes to change and it's mental. So they like to change people's minds in a way. Gemini's low key could be like kind of judgmental just because they're so intelligent. So they can see every side of every scenario. They can put themselves in other people's shoes, but like the opposite sign of Gemini is a Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is they're all about the big part of life, which is the spiritual part of life. Where Gemini is more about the mundane, more about the small parts of life, like friends and just going out and and they don't really sometimes have boundaries like they should. Gemini is working your boundaries to also bring in more deep relationships because like Scorpio can have deep relationships. Gemini sometimes suffer from that due to the fact that some Geminis like to keep tabs on people, their exes and things like that. That's something that you'll actually start to notice if you start to study a lot of Gemini keyword Gemini dominant people. So Geminis, you guys have the gift of gab. You have the ability, what I'm saying, to really bring together people, bring together communities, groups. You guys are a mutable sign, so you guys are chameleons. You guys are really good at being and changing your personality around different people, and your air sign. So it's like you guys can make anybody like you. Guys can change yourself to get anybody. It could be 100 different archetypes in a room: warriors, healers, magicians, narcissists. You guys can fit your personality to work with anybody. Because Geminis, if you guys want to prosper, it's very recommended sidereal Geminis to get into business, get into collaborations, get into working with people, anything with people, whether it's podcast or being a politician or a spiritual politician, anything like that. You're going to be really well at because your words, using your wordplay to get and understand your personality changes and shape shifts is very effective in your personality. All right. And you're also the most curious sign. So the curiosity that you guys have, Gemini, is very, 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 very powerful. Use your curiosity to build. All right. Your curiosity is something that if someone tells you something, you don't, what I'm saying, think about it one way. You think about it in multiple ways. You ask questions. Geminis ask questions. Very, very good. So keep asking questions. And the more questions you ask, Gemini, the more you will build in your life. Keep asking questions, all right? We'll go let you go on to the next sign, which should be a sidereal and Cancer.
Cancer, yeah. So if you were a Leo, and you checked your sidereal chart, and you seen that you was a Cancer, this is for you. So Cancers, y'all value emotional security, family, and safety. So yeah, y'all really need those things like in y'all life heavily. Um, y'all really have that nurturing mother energy, so y'all try to like nurture and give to everyone, but sometimes y'all can lack that self-care when it comes to self, like, so a lot of people don't really, a lot of people can take that nurturing energy and not give it back. So and when you're feeling everyone else's energy because you are a water sign, it's like you can't help it but feel everyone else's energy. You're like the biggest impact, like you and Pisces. um it makes it hard for y'all to like differentiate what's their energy and what's your energy. So yeah, that can be like a challenge. So I would say for y'all could like really practice like just meditating, connecting to the breath, and really getting to know your own energy like inside and out. So that way when you're like out in public or around other people and you're feeling all that energy, you can know, at least you can know what's yours and what's theirs, what's not yours, your energy, what's outside of you. So definitely practice like observing the energy but not absorbing the energy. Okay. And so my cancers, your emotional energy is a huge part of your life force. So when you're giving and giving that mother energy out, like how a mother is like with child, it's the same thing. When a mother is with child, they're like the baby is getting all the nutrients from the mother, like the oxygen, the food, the water, everything from the mother. So when you give that your energy, nurturing energy to people, people are like, receiving it in that way, but it can kind of drain you. So emotional, you need to understand your emotional energy is your a huge part, a huge makeup of your life force. So, just like the saying, attention where attention goes, energy flows. Um, where your emotions go, like that's where your energy is flowing. So definitely like, make sure you're pouring into yourself more than you just like give and give. Pour into yourself first. Like go do something good for yourself. Like go do some have self-care days frequently, you know. So I'm gonna pass it to you.
All right. All
Next
right. So
sign.
yeah, so next sign is Leo. All right, so Sidereal Leo. So if you are a Sidereal Leo, one of the best things that I'll say about Sidereal Leo is off rip, you guys you guys have the energy of being a positive energy and illumination wherever you're at. You guys will shine and get a lot of attention, get the most attention where you're at. So you want to use that attention in a positive way. You guys are the warmth to the room. Wherever the room is at, you guys are going to bring the warmth to it. So whatever room you guys walk into, you're going to warm it up. If there's a lot of cold people in there, there's a lot of detached people in there. You guys are like the life, you know what I'm saying? So you as a Leo, Saturday Leos, I definitely recommend that you guys learn to have the best intentions and heal your heart. All right, because your heart is going to be the thing that unlocks a lot of things in your life, a lot of abundance in your life, a lot of prosperity in your life. Your heart, once your heart is closed, you bring a lot of disruption and chaos to this planet because then you guys start naturally trying to get attention for the wrong reasons, and you guys use your abilities to get attention for the wrong reasons. So use that attention grab for more positive energy. Give life to people. You being a sidereal Leo, you guys are on the axis of Aquarius, so you're gonna have a lot of pride. You're gonna have a lot of confidence. You're gonna have a lot of self-esteem. Be careful not to be too jealous in situations where people get more attention of you. Once you guys start to heal yourself, you will be a leader. You will be someone who shines a lot of light in your community, and you will be, since you guys are a fixed sign, you're definitely here for long term purposes where you guys don't really give up. So using that fixed modality, using the fire element, the fire is, like I said, it's gonna burn. Fire signs are really good at like burning negative energy because they're so confident, so they don't really have the tolerance to sit and dwell in negative thoughts all day. Well, you might see other elements kind of like have like negative thoughts, like Scorpio all day, and like other signs that kind of get twisted mentally. Fire signs don't really like to dwell in that for a long time. They like to burn through it because it's so quick. It's like it's just this I am. So fire star people kind of like low key are inspired by fire signs because their energy is very confident, it's very positive. You can tell that they're people like confident people because the confidence shows that they're confidence is like a form of manifestation. When someone's speaking and they're very confident, it's a sign that damn, this shit might be true. So it's like there's a higher chance of people listening to you, Leo, because your confidence is very strong. All right, because it's like this person is something about the aura, so they're not. They're confident. There's something they're saying that's right. So that confidence is something that's very important, Leo, to keep embodying in a healthy way. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your intuition. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll notice that the universe will bless you. Um, Definitely, guys, you guys gonna kind of live life like it's on a stage, but kind of having a balance of like understanding. You guys are understanding. You guys are dramatic. Try not to be too dramatic in situations where people might want to have a regular conversation with you. Aquarius is like the opposite sign, so Aquarius are more like authentic. They just like regular logical conversations. Leos can kind of dance during a conversation and do a bunch of backflips, and sometimes people like Leo's doing the most. So Leo's kind of like
Yeah.
really live on that movie stage show, where Aquarius is more like logical, get you to the point. So, it's about having a balance. And I'm saying Aquarius probably should have more fun when they speak too. So that's where they balance each other out. Leos bother people sometimes because I guess like they're just so dramatic that they just do the most. They just love attention so much. So it's like some people wonder how much attention do you need every day? As those things come up, and it's kind of like a movie, like a constant movie every day. So yeah.
Yes, yes. I also want to say that the performing stuff, Leos, y'all, when y'all start caring about your image too much to the point where you're performing, it takes you out of your authenticity. Like, don't be performing for nobody else. Like that, it puts you in your lower self.
Yeah.
Yeah, lean into that Aquarius duality where y'all don't
Hmm.
really care about what other people think. Yeah,
Yes. All right. So we'll get into this Leo.
yeah. So y'all was a Libra. Now you a Virgo in Sidereal. So Virgos, y'all are like y'all are the responsible ones. Like y'all, so the whole zodiac like wheel represents like the human experience, and like the stages of the human experience. So Leo is the teenager and like Virgo is the young adult. So that's a big shift. Like so y'all are naturally uh, responsible, and y'all probably love a good to-do list. Like you may always feel like you need to have everything together in your lives, like to the point where it's like crucial for you to like get it perfect every time. Like y'all can kind of y'all are ruled by Mercury, so that Mercury is the fastest planet. Mercury energy inside of you can be like rapid fire. Like you can always just be like having like nervous energy in your mind, like nervous in your body, your nervous system. Like you really just need to calm down. Like you need to calm down, and you gotta Virgos, y'all need to realize there is no such thing as perfection. Like it's just simply not real. It's not real. So once y'all get over that, I think y'all would be good. Um yeah, y'all are really logical. Y'all psychological nature is to like, analyze situation. Y'all can really, analyze any situation, pick apart what's useful, pick apart what isn't useful, and then, add in what is useful. Y'all can tell all of that and y'all can just do it real quick in your mind. And, you know, you try to fix people's lives sometimes. And sometimes, Virgos, 'cause my mom is a Virgo, y'all could y'all could try to fix people's lives and y'all could come off harshly critical to others. Like, think about it, people are already, their own worst critics, and then you being like over critical of yourself, like your inner dialogue is so like overly critical that when you do mean well and you do have good intentions when you're trying to help people with their lives, but when your delivery though, it needs to be a little more sweeter. Like, you put some honey on that. Like, your delivery critical. Like, people can look at you like, ah, dang, like, okay, Miss Perfect or whatever.
Hmm.
You know, like,
That's right. Yeah, definitely
but you
back.
in your mind, you just trying to help. But just watch out for your delivery. Yeah, and that's pretty much what it is for y'all Virgos. Y'all can really benefit from like practices throughout the day that requires you to slow down in the mind. So like, your earth sign, so you really do, it's imperative that you ground into your body. um you being in your mind takes you from being in your body. So do practices that calm, regulate your nervous system, like meditating, take a walk in the park barefoot, go get a book a massage like every 2 weeks or something like that. Just really really, get them, shake them nerves off. And also, Virgo, your gut. So I think Virgo is like with the woman, the virgin in the zodiac symbol. So yeah, that represents purity. So it's just like when you eat, you can notice that even when, like, just having Virgo energy in your chart, period. But when you eat something that's like, unhealthy or not really in a balanced diet, like, it can really mess up your stomach. It can mess with your stomach. So that also, the stomach is the first brain. So that really does play into your, like, the level of your intuition and how sharp it is. So it can mess with the sharpness of your intuition, and it can mess with, like, it can give you a lack of clarity in the mind too. So beware of the gut,
Yeah.
Virgos. All right.
All right, family. So if you are Sidereal Libra, you are here to bring collaboration to the collective. All right, Libra is the seventh zodiac sign. They're known to be here to make things harmonious. You know, they say you need every zodiac sign on the planet. A life without Libras wouldn't really be a good planet. You know, if this planet didn't have Libras, I sure wouldn't really, be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody needs to bring the fairness. Somebody needs to know how to have the people skills to calm people down, to calm down the chaos. So, Libra is the opposite of Aries. Aries can be like chaotic, very selfish. Libras are the people that bring fairness into this world. They're the justice people, people who like, imagine Libra as like the justice system. They're the ones who want fairness. They take equality, diplomacy very serious. So you guys, as Libras, to believe it or not, yes, you're just unevolved Libras. Libras that lie, that cheat. You know what I'm saying? That's like known to be like the unevolved side. But the positive Libras, we're only focused on the evolved versions. You guys definitely are here to bring justice to the planet. And when I say justice, what does that mean? Like, bring fairness back. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. We need righteousness, fairness. People doing wrong. Libra, call that out. You're wrong for that, but you actually make sure it's wrong. Don't, believe that. Make sure it's wrong. Don't, like I said, you guys are ruled by the scales, so the justice system can make flaws. You guys want to make sure you're making like good judgment of things. That's why they low key say, a lot of astrologers have been saying that Libras can low key be kind of judgmental because they're ruled by the scales. They're kind of like Virgo, right next to Virgo. So they have a blend of that Virgo energy. They could be very judgmental. Who's like the loudest person? Who burps? Like just little small things can kind of like linger on their mind. But they are ruled by Venus, which is the sign of love, diplomacy, social energy, popularity. So Venus is one of those signs that gives them a lot of blessings because even in Vedic astrology, Venus is like very benefic. It's very benefic. It's a planet that brings you a lot of blessings. So Libra, you guys do have that Venus energy. There is blessings that you guys do have in your life just with the natural energy you get. You guys are Libras, so people are naturally gonna like you guys. People are naturally gonna be drawn to work with you guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, you guys can use that ability to finesse people because you're just so good with people. All right. So as a Sidereal Libra, use your gift of gab, use your understanding of people. Like I said, you guys have very high social intelligence. You guys know what not to say and you know what to say. So use that social intelligence to navigate through life. I recommend you guys to enhance your Libra skills to play chess and do lots of things that's very strategic. Libra, you guys are very diplomatic. Not saying you guys are weak, but you know, a lot of people will perceive you guys as weak because people could say you guys are people pleasers. But me personally, I've seen a lot of Libras since you guys are on the axis of Aries. You guys do have that warrior side sometimes, but you guys are a lot more diplomatic with it. We call it diplomatic warfare. So you guys will, you know, be strategic at how you do things and have some tact with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I do like Libra energy. You know, I really like the diplomacy side. I'm definitely somebody who prefers diplomacy more than chaos. You know what I'm saying? Not saying chaos is not needed. Chaos is definitely needed sometimes, but diplomacy is like more fair, and it's something that you know we can get. It's like we have five people in the room. None of us are the same. Diplomacy is the only way that we can all work together and we can all be different. Is diplomacy, fairness, treating people right, being and when everybody acts chaotic and it's kind of mess everything up. So I definitely see why diplomacy is very important. As a Libra, you have the abilities to bring people together. You know what I'm saying? You have the ability to be a mediator. You're very good at mediating very hard, difficult conflicts. And one of your strengths and the ways to get things for the universe to help you and work for you, to work with you, is to definitely have discernment in your partnerships and relationships. All right, discernment in your partnerships and relationships will be very beneficial. All right, so I'm passing over to you for Scorpio.
All right. So if you are a Scorpio Sidereal, that means you are a Sagittarius tropical. So you shifted from fire energy to water energy, intense water, fixed water. So, you know, Scorpios value their trust, period, to their core. You're very careful of who you allow inside your inner world. And you tend to keep everyone, even the people closest to you, at like arm's length distance. And this is because, you know, your inner world is very intense, extremely intense. So, and also because you see beneath the surface in a lot of people. So, you guys, you only allow people to know what you really want them to know. So, yeah, and you guys, y'all can be really skeptical sometimes. Y'all kind of have developed that skeptical mindset since from childhood, because maybe someone probably broke your trust as a child and you like just held on to that emotion, that intense emotion of betrayal, up into your adulthood. So you don't extend your trust. You're very like um cautious before you extend your trust to people so easily, and this is because you don't want to open up and be vulnerable to people enough to like be emotionally attached. Like you guys want to prevent being emotionally attached to people as much as you can, because you want to prevent like you know, someone with ill intentions taking advantage of you, which is understandable. um but yeah, holding on to that experience of like betrayal. Understand, Scorpios, that you guys have intense energy, and with intense energy, you are when you're holding on to past experiences, you're steadily recreating that cycle over and over again. Like you are creating your own the very thing that you fear. So you guys really have to watch out for holding on to intense thoughts and intense emotions at the same time, at the level that you feel them, Scorpio, because that's exactly how you manifest. And expectations, when you expect someone to um be already approaching you with ill intentions before you even like, because this person could be coming at you with genuine intentions and you're still like skeptical, holding on to skepticism about them. And it's like when you expect that, expecting is a part of manifestation, so you're manifesting that, whether you want to or not. So definitely be mindful of that, Scorpio. um a lot of the times, y'all have to break that cycle of self-sabotage within yourself. So that Plutonian energy that's always in your aura field, it tends to magnetize people towards you for a few reasons. So people usually come to you because they're seeking transformation in their lives. And you are that person. That's your purpose as a Scorpio, to ignite transformation in people's lives. So, they either gravitate to you for that, or they gravitate to you because they sense how potent your sexual energy is.
That's a good thing. I never looked at it like that. People
Hmm.
are seeking transformation, so they see a Scorpio. Wow. Because I know some Scorpios who I do call up when I like, if I really need like a real transformative person to give me some real serious power,
Exactly.
I'm calling a Scorpio up. So yeah,
Right.
they're like heavy hitters. Scorpios are like heavy.
Mhm.
They heavy hitters. So yeah,
Right, exactly. Like, and then sometimes Scorpios are here to simply be somebody's karma.
yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Because they're very transformative, and the call up a Scorpio is to call someone who is helping you with whatever you're going through. So that's probably the best way I've ever heard somebody explain a Scorpio.
Why, thank you.
Yes. Hmm.
um, yeah, so that's how I view Scorpios. I feel like you guys can really like y'all should really use y'all gift if y'all just start trusting the world a bit more and opening up to the world. Y'all could use y'all gift to like really help people when it comes to their inner worlds. Like y'all could be like those intense therapists and childhood therapy. What's a childhood therapist called? I don't know. The therapist for the children. And teaching people how to break their own psyches. Y'all inner world is really creative, and a lot of people don't really talk about that. But when y'all bring y'all creative inner world out into the external world, it's really beautiful to see. Um yeah. And I had a channel message for Scorpios. This was to I got this download for Scorpios to work with the deity Olokun. He is the divine counterpart of Yemaya, the water goddess who resides at the bottom of the ocean. Olokun resides at the bottom of the ocean. So that might have just been for somebody specific. Um, but yeah.
So if you are a Sagittarius in Sidereal, you guys are here to bring your optimism and your ideas and to also fly in your doctrine. All right. So you guys most likely might be a Capricorn in tropical or Western astrology. And you guys already know Capricorns are very, very ambitious. But Sagittarius is they represent the optimism. While Capricorn can be kind of very realistic, they can adopt the what they call like a scarcity mindset. When you have Sagittarius, they adopt a very optimistic mindset, and that's why Sagittarius is the most lucky zodiac sign. So, being a Sagittarius and sidereal is a very relieving thing to know. Very, very, very good thing to know. And there's a lot of blessings that you hold. There's a lot of luck that you have dormant inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Because Sagittarius is the intuition is very strong. That's one thing I'll say. People do doubt their intuition. People do think that they're just a fire sign, so they're like these masculine, egotistical people. Now, of course, they could be that, but they do have a very intuitive side to them, way stronger than the other fire signs. The other fire signs are not as spiritual as Sagittarius, and that's what makes Sagittarius very special
Mhm.
of the three fire signs. So Sagittarius, understand that don't get the fired, oh fire, fire, fire. Don't get that like in your head too much because that's gonna make y'all too much egotistical. You're supposed to be the wisest fire sign. So as a fire sign, be the teacher, be the one who studies your doctrine, go into your doctrine, meditate daily. And Sagittarius rules the ninth house. My bad. It's ruled by the ninth house. So the ninth house in astrology represents your higher self. It represents your beliefs. It represents quite a few things like traveling as well. But when I read my books, they always said, when I read books of astrology, the first thing they always said for one word was the higher self. So Sagittarius, they have a very strong connection to their higher self, a very strong connection to, morals, what's right. You know what I'm saying? A little bit similar to Libra, but a lot more spiritual. A lot more spiritual, a lot more into like beliefs. That's why a lot of Sagittarius have a lot of different beliefs. That's one thing people will say. They're like, yo, if people have like 25 systems they study, they can't they don't usually stick to one religion. Just like sometimes
Yeah.
they're multiple partners, they don't stick just depending on the Sag. So it's like they like to have multiple beliefs. They have so many different things they like to delve in. So keep your mind stimulated as a Sag. To get blessings from the universe, I highly recommend that you guys build up your faith in your doctrine. Whatever your faith is, build up your faith. Build up everything that you know and build up your trust in the universe. A Sagittarius without trust in the universe is like it's like a car without wheels. So you guys need your wheels, which is your trust to move. Because as long as you guys have trust in the universe, and that's why I say in the universe, I'm not saying people. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying trust in the universe, which is everybody, which is your spirit guides, your ancestors. You guys are naturally spiritual. You guys have like the strongest faith of out of all signs. In my personal opinion, some might say it's Pisces, some might say, other water signs, but I personally feel like since you guys are a fire sign, you have that confidence. And then you add on the spiritual ninth house. It's like you guys have a very strong faith and trust in the universe. So use that faith and trust in the universe to empower people who have weak belief systems, to empower people who don't really know about spirituality, who need to be transformed spiritually, who might doubt their religion, who might doubt your system, who might doubt anything in life. You're supposed to use your faith and your trust in the universe to empower them, and that's how you will be able to grow and get some blessings from the universe. You guys are immutable fire, so you're gonna be drawn to change a lot as a fire sign, and consistency. Just work on your consistency a little bit more, not being too flaky. A lot of Sagittarius I know, um, they are kind of flaky with how they move. Especially, I see this especially. Well, I'm not saying I see this in both men and women, but they're very flaky. You know what I'm saying? So they might start a project and then a week later they forget about it. So just stay consistent. I know they don't want to hear it. They're very very stubborn. Very very. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but they stay consistent, family.
I
Pass it
think
back
they
to you.
get that from Gemini because that's the
Yeah.
opposite.
Right.
Gemini
Right.
be
Yeah. Facts.
all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll pass
Okay.
it back to you.
So Sidereal Capricorn. So if you guys check your sidereal chart and you are a Capricorn, you were an Aquarius in your tropical chart. So you went from fixed air to cardinal earth. So if your sun shifted into Capricorn, Capricorns, y'all value responsibility and reliability, heavily on the reliability, because y'all are reliable people. So y'all really value that in others because y'all give that energy. Y'all are really ambitious. Y'all are really about that climb to the top. Because y'all are really just, I think y'all mindset is really fixed on their traditional way of making money. Um, However, we're going where we are in the age of Aquarius now. So we've, that traditional way of moving and getting to the money is not gonna fly anymore. Like it's crumbling every day as we speak. So y'all are gonna have to shift your approach to the grind. Keep that in mind while as you're moving forward this year and the next, especially next year. Um However, Capricorns are really good at preserving their energy on the inside. So on the outside, y'all may be viewed by others as like cold and like distant, or hard up, bossy. Y'all are bossy. um, you really on the inside you feel sensitive. Like you're not emotional but sensitive. And you get that from your polarity sign, Cancer. So y'all just don't show it on the outside because, I feel like y'all feel that preserving your energy for what you feel is more worth putting your energy to into um your time and energy into is like about making money and about making, getting yourself on the next timeline. Y'all are shifting timelines. Y'all are ready to get to the highest timeline possible. So y'all feel like y'all don't really have time for like the extra emotional stuff, that people go through. So yeah, y'all really understand the interconnectedness of, you know, time and money and emotions and energy all being one source. Y'all really understand that. And a lot of people don't really get that it's all one energy. Like your energy is your currency. Just as much as, money is a currency. So y'all really feel that way because y'all are ruled by Saturn, the planet of time. So you really value your time. So y'all don't like people messing with your time or your money, um or your emotions. So um because you are ruled by Saturn, you have to watch how you like move in this life with other people. Mind how you treat others in this world because Saturn also rules karma. So karma is a neutral force, restoring the balance, keeping the balance intact in this realm. So sometimes y'all Capricorns, I notice y'all don't mind like stepping on others to get to the top. Um, y'all really don't mind like controlling or having authority over others and other people's lives, like to place yourself on a higher timeline or higher status quo. Be careful of being unjust to others because karma will come back around much quicker to you than it does for anyone else. So but what Capricorns can help the world by they can help the world by really teaching others how to maintain your self-disciplines, self-disciplines, self-discipline, and how to maintain consistency in your life when it comes to reaching your goals and getting your manifestations to materialize. Y'all can really help people out by teaching people your structures and your ways of getting to the bag because some people in this day and time need help with that. Yeah, so that's y'all Capricorns. I'm gonna pass it back to you.
All right. That was a good one. That was a good one.
So we on Aquarius.
Yeah, Aquarius. This is my sun sidereal. So if you are an Aquarius sun sidereal, the first thing I'll say, I already kind of spoke about it in the beginning, but being an Aquarius sun is that you guys are definitely here to bring collaboration and into the community instead of more like one-on-one, like more community collaboration to where you are leaving a mark for the world because Aquarius does is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is a very generational planet. So being a generational planet, you're here to help the generation. You're here to leave something when you pass away. So as an Aquarius, you should be uncomfortable. You should be that person who should do something that's a little risky. You should be the person that should do something that, helps the world in a more activate people is what I'm saying. Be the one who activates people. Be the one that helps the planet. Be the one that stands up. You know what I'm saying, for your community. Be the one that speaks out. Be that person. Of course, do it with righteous intention. I'm not someone who's promotes being a rebel without a cause. I'm somebody who promotes being a rebel with a cause. So be a rebel with a cause. Be very intentional with everything that you do, and you'll see everything come in your favor. But as an Aquarius and Sidereal, it's very important that you, like how I was saying with Sagittarius, with their faith and their trust is their wills. For you Aquarius, your wills is going to be your mind. All right. So like how you was talking about it earlier, that
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius is a fixed mental. It's fixed mental. So
Yeah.
Aquarius just have a very strong mind.
Yes.
And you look at people like David Goggins and a few other Aquarius people who have very strong, like Tony Ferguson, and these are men who are Aquarius people, and they have a very strong willpowers. So
Mm-hmm.
the reason why is because Aquarius is it's a mental archetype, but since it's fixed is like very stubborn, but the positive side of stubborn is very strong. So it's very strong. It's a very strong energy. So Aquarius, you guys have you guys do overthink a lot. You guys do have a very high active mind, but your mind is fixed, so it's very strong. Your mind is very strong when you focus on something. It's like a sniper.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind, that's why, like, if you're an Aquarius, affirmations is very important, because your mind is like Pisces. I would tell a Pisces son to focus more on their meditations and stuff in Sidereal. I would tell an Aquarius son to focus more on their mind, do more affirmations, journaling is key. What I'm saying? Structure your mind first, and then you do your spirit second, then your body last. Depending on your sign. So Aquarius, you guys got to get your mind right. Meditation helps the mind as well too, but just keeping the mind uh strong and calm, because you are Aquarius can be a very high strung zodiac sign. It's very electric and charged, and it can get anxious. So it's about kind of calming down the energy, taking herbs like ashwagandha, and keeping your energy just as calm as possible. That's going to help you guys a lot to prosper. All right. Since you guys are an air sign, fire acts, air thinks. So you guys are more likely to think than to act. So learning to also put down the pedal and act. A lot of Aquarius overthink things, and you guys have ever even said Aquarius overthink everything. They overthink everything. They're least likely to actually get to something and just think about it all day long. So bring in the opposite side, which is Leo. Leos are shiners. They're more likely to fire acts. They're more likely to get that action done instead of
Mm-hmm.
just thinking about it all day. So that's where you guys need Leo energy in your life. If you guys have Leo placements, that's good. But you just need the energy there to. A lot of people who have Aquarius energy have Leo energy. That's one thing I noticed too. People who have,
Yes.
they always, notice that people
Yeah,
always
because I
got.
got Aquarius energy in my chart. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you see, people
Mm-hmm.
always got the same axis in their chart for some reason. The same
Mm-hmm.
like sister signs. It's like I never see people without it for some reason. I mean, I do, but it's rare. But let's
Mm-hmm.
just say that with Aquarius, you guys, the more that you focus on your mind, the more that you'll see manifestations come. The more that you also balance out your mind with action, the more you will see manifestations come. Then you will start to see people reach out to you more. You start to be invited to more collaborations, more group events. Um, be careful not to go down the wrong route of an Aquarius. Being like increasing, because Aquariuses do like the shock value, whether it's through their voice or whether it's through the way they dress. They can be very shocking, and they like to get attention through just becoming so different. Like look at 6 7 Hunk. He's an Aquarius. You see how he's just very different. He has like a very strong shock value. You know what I'm saying? So he just shocks the world by what he says. He just does all that. That's very shocking to the planet. That's Aquarius energy. Aquarius
J.
energy.
Cole.
Yeah. You
J.
see.
Cole.
What does he
Yeah,
do? What does he do to shock the world?
man, that mental flow. Whew,
Yeah.
in his lyrics, the way he speaks to people through his lyrics, like I just want to lick his brain sometimes. Like,
Yeah. So they also very sapiosexual. So
yeah.
it's like you gotta understand, like, this is not a regular air sign. It's a fixed air sign. So fixed is gonna be like the strongest air sign. I'm not trying to bash the other air signs, but they're gonna be passionate air signs. So Aquarius is like they're very mental. and that's why a lot of people, like even Astro Finesse, he even said Aquarius is the smartest air sign. You know what I'm saying? And I would probably agree just because it's fixed. So they're gonna spend more time in their mind than the other air signs. You got
Yeah.
Gemini, they're mutable, so they're changing all the time. They're doing all these other stuff. You got Libra, they cardinal, so they starting things and anything. But fixed stays in there. So Aquarius is gonna stay in their mind. And don't get me wrong, the person who brainstorms a lot is gonna be a person with a lot of knowledge. I'm going to the dude who brainstorms every day, not the dude that takes a nap and sleeps and eats, because he's not brainstorming, he's just eating. And so the person who brainstorms is going to be the person who's going to be the smartest person in the room. And Aquarius, you guys brainstorm a lot, even when you're at work, even when you're walking in the park. You're thinking, I know you are, you're always thinking about ways, creative ways. You're always thinking about original ideas. I know you are. So Aquarius, you remember that, your energy is very revolutionary. You can activate people. But a
Mhm.
lot of you guys stay asleep for a very long time because the codes of an Aquarius, we are in the age of Aquarius, is very strong. So it's very, very, very easy to gain popularity and to gain success and to gain fortune and to gain prosperity and to gain things in your favor on your behalf when you are activated as an Aquarius. All right. You
Yeah.
will go ahead.
Aquarius give me Thoth energy.
Oh, Thoth. Thoth.
Mm-hmm. Thoth.
What is that? Who's that?
He's the most intelligent deity. He's an Egyptian deity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's like they call him the most like smartest being that was lived back in those times. So people that embody Thoth energy, that reminds me of an Aquarius like heavily.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because even me as an Aquarius Sun Sidereal, I'm somebody who, I'm somebody who I stand out a lot, and I used to like not understand why my voice sound different, my energy is different, everything about me is different. I just feel like I'm not really like normal African American black man, normal black citizen, but I realized I gotta use this as a way to gain more attention. I can't just sit here and hear myself and be like, bro, you sound so different. Like you don't sound like a normal person. I'm like, the ancestors told me, yo, this is how you gain your attention. You gain your attention from sounding different, from looking different, from sounding like a nerd. That's how you gain your attention. People look at you, you stand out like 20 times more than anybody else. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I gotta use this your unique different energy, this unique voice, and be confident in it. And that's what I just did. You know what I'm saying? I stopped being like, yo, I just feel like I don't fit in. I just like, you know what? This is a good way to capture people. You know what I'm saying? This is a
Yeah.
good way to get attention at any cost. So just be myself, not trying to put on a facade like, some other people. I just being myself. You know what I'm saying? So, Kois, I recommend you do the same. I challenge you to do the same. If you're different, if you're weird, remember it. If you go back to being a normal person, nobody's going to know who you are. Nobody's going to recognize you. The only way you'll be recognized as an Aquarius sun is by being yourself, because you're already different. You're already gonna get recognized just by because you're gonna have something about you, whether it's the style, whether it's your aura, whether it's your voice, whether it's anything about you that's gonna stand out. All right. So we'll pass it on
Yes.
to Pisces.
Yes. Aquarius is
All right.
embrace that alien nature.
Yes. Yes. Let's get it.
All right, so Pisces. If you were Pisces and Sidereal, you were a Aries, you were an Aries and tropical. So you went from cardinal fire to mutable water. So with your sun being in Pisces, Pisces really values empathy, creativity, and spiritual connection. Y'all are really big on spiritual connection. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So you know what that means? That means y'all feel the most merged and closest with source is like than the other zodiac signs. Y'all feel like y'all, and I actually believe that y'all have experienced lifetimes in past lives through the other zodiac signs, and y'all have already like, you know, mastered those other signs. So y'all come to this lifetime already like embodying the energy of all the other signs. So this is why, and you feel so selfless when it comes to interacting with other people. Your compassion really reigns true. Your empathy is vast, And this is where the controversy kind of comes from, when the other zodiac signs kind of feel like, Pisces don't really assert themselves, in confrontation. Some may view that as like weak, but y'all really do feel one with everyone. Like y'all feel so connected that it causes you to always reside in that separation is an illusion mindset, because it is. And you guys really choose unity more than separation when it comes to confrontation, and a lot of people don't get that. So unfortunately, a lot of people really just don't understand what it feels like to really just embody that oneness mindset. So I think that energy is really beautiful. um so a lot of people can tend to try to like see that as an opportunity to like take advantage of your compassionate nature. um and Pisces, y'all are natural healers, so you do attract many people who are in need of spiritual healing, and y'all love to help people, just like your polarity sign Virgo. So everywhere you go, you unconsciously absorb like all the energy in the room. Like you absorb positive or negative energy, low or high vibrations. You just soak it up like a sponge, because you are a water sign, but y'all are like the water sign that's more one with everything. So y'all tend to soak it up easier more than the other water signs. And so while you're absorbing everyone's energy and healing people, you start to feel overwhelmed because you're walking around with all that, toxic energy in your aura. So you start feeling, your aura, your environment become just like heavy. If you ever feel like your environment is like clouded and your aura is clouded, kind of like, a fish in a dirty fish bowl, that's when Pisces starts to choose to escape. And this is where the escapism tendencies really come from with Pisces. Um, Whenever they're feeling like, they don't have another way out of this aura that they're feeling. So they usually choose to numb the feeling, like with drugs, alcohol, to numb that energy. But you know, you as a Pisces, you have to know that you being the healer, you also have the power to heal yourself. So
Mm,
um you really regenerate your energy and filter out your aura through isolation, like days upon days, like y'all can go days on days of like isolation when y'all need to recharge. And that's just how y'all recharge. And that's that's honestly what y'all need to choose, rather than escaping with drugs, because that's the more healthier route to like regenerate your energy field. You can also really benefit from connected to music as well. So uplifting music, affirmation music, that can really help filter, like literally filter like a water system, filter out the old heavy emotions from your aura. And yes, listening to subliminals and stuff while you sleeping. Yeah. That's really going to be helpful for you guys when it comes to regenerate your energy. Now, Pisces, y'all really need to work. It's crucial that y'all need to work on your planning and structured skills, because the opposite, the opposite side of you is Virgo, which is that plan and structure to the T energy. So y'all kind of lack that energy, because you're going with the flow a lot of the times. But sometimes you need to incorporate that structure more in your life, so that way when you are so in flow, it can also be like planned out, have like some sort of plan to it. And y'all have top tier faith, but make sure when you're leaning more into the work side of things as well, because faith without works equals a dead fish. It's dead.
yeah,
But yeah, y'all Pisces really just incorporate that work, like incorporate that side of the work, and y'all will really be straight. Like I really think that's what y'all really need to do. Um,
yes.
yeah, that's pretty much. I really love y'all Pisces though. Uh, I love Pisces. I really do.
All right. So that
Yeah.
was all the zodiac signs family. So if you guys do want a part two with me and Attuned Chaos, be sure
Yes.
to like, comment, subscribe. We went through every sidereal zodiac sign, the true meaning of a sidereal zodiac sign in every way, every form and shape. All right. So if you guys do want another video with me and Attuned Chaos, make sure to go ahead and follow her. Her Instagram will be, her Instagram and YouTube will be in links in the description down below. All right. Any last words you want to say?
I just want to say, I love y'all. I hope these words really reach the people that it needs to reach. And, each one teach one. Thank you for having me on. I'm honored. And I really enjoyed this whole breakdown. I really hope y'all can really dive into your sidereal side and really, search deeper within yourself. But yeah, I love
All
y'all,
right.
peace and
Peace,
unity.
family. All right.